8 July 2014, the night that saw Brazil get smashed to bits by Germany. But that wasn't it. To rub salt in Brazil fans' wounds, that night also saw Brazil's very own Ronaldo Nazario lose his record for the most goals at FIFA World Cup to Germany's Miroslav Klose. That record, combined with the fact that Klose is also Germany's all-time record goal scorer, would make you believe that Klose is one of the greatest strikers to have ever lived. But if you look at his club career, that shines a different light. Klose only ever scored 20 plus goals in one season and won most of his honors playing as a bench warmer to first Luca Toni and then later Mario Gomez whilst being at Bayern Munich. So was Klose one of the greatest strikers to have ever lived or not? Well, for that we look at his 18-year-long career and then answer the question, just how good was Miroslav Klose? Unlike many stars of today, Klose's career didn't actually begin till he was 20 when he signed with FC Hamburg. Now this isn't HSV Hamburg, the iconic German side. This is FC Hamburg, who were playing in the third tier of German football, and even there, Klose was not deemed good enough to start for them. In his only season with the club, he featured 18 times for them, mostly as a sub, and scored only one goal. But if you wanted to have a better look at Miroslav Klose, you'd have to look at him in their reserve side who were playing in the 5th tier, with whom Klose also made 18 appearances, but these were mostly as a starter, and these appearances convinced FC Kaiserslautern to sign him. Now these days FC Kaiserslautern are playing in the 3rd tier of German football, but back in 1998 they were reigning defending German champions. At FC Kaiserslautern, he spent most of his first season playing in the reserves, but when he was given a call-up to the senior team in his 2nd season, he grabbed that opportunity with both hands. That season he scored 9 goals and finished as Kaiserslautern's top scorer. In his 2nd season, he pushed further on. He scored 16 goals in the Bundesliga and finished as the 2nd top scorer. His stock was well and truly very high, and this resulted in him getting a call-up with the German national team. Oliver Bierhoff had been Germany's main striker for the last decade or so, but he was now 34 years old and Germany were looking for his successor. Christoph Janker, Oliver Newell, Asamoah, and Klose all were picked, and they were all given run-ins in the friendly games leading up to the tournament. And like at Kaiserslautern, when Klose was given the opportunity, he did not let it pass by. Klose scored 8 goals in his first 12 caps for Germany, so it was him who was starting for Germany at the World Cup. Initially, it was a good pick. Klose scored 5 goals in the first 3 games, including a hat-trick against Saudi Arabia. But once the knockout phases came about, Klose faded away and Germany had to look for goals elsewhere, mostly with Michael Ballack. But for someone who was playing in the 5th tier just 4 years ago to score 5 goals at a FIFA World Cup, well, that's quite an achievement. After the tournament, Klose had various offers to leave Kaiserslautern, but he decided to stay with them. Over the next 2 seasons, Klose scored 19 goals, but with Kaiserslautern now fighting for relegation, it was time for Klose to move on. Klose once again signed for the reigning German champions Werder Bremen. Bremen paid 5 million euros for Klose's services, which was quite a lot during that time, but Klose repaid every bit of it. The next 3 seasons were easily the best of Klose's club career. In his first season, he scored 15 Bundesliga goals, which was close to his personal best of 16. But in his 2nd season, Klose scored 25 in 26 games and finished as Bundesliga's top scorer. That season, Bremen finished 5 points behind Bayern in the 2nd position. If Klose was fit the entire season, who knows what would have happened. But it wasn't all dull for Klose, as that season, Klose won his first major honor, the DFB Liga Pokal. Off the back of that win, he starred for Germany in the 2006 World Cup. Like 4 years prior, Klose started off with a bang. He scored 4 goals in 3 group games and then scored his 5th against Argentina in the quarterfinal. That tournament, Germany finished in 3rd spot and Klose's 5 goals earned him the golden shoe. The season after that, Klose scored 13 goals for Werder Bremen, which was quite a drop off from the previous season, but it was still a decent return. Upon the end of 2006-07 season, Klose made it clear he wanted to move on to Bayern Munich. Now that Bayern side was nowhere near the level of Bayern of today. During that time, Bayern had just built the Allianz Arena, and as a result of that, their squad had taken a hit. But after our 6-07 season, Bayern were looking to rebuild the starting 11, and they wanted Klose to lead the line for them. The 07-08 season, Klose's first at Bayern, it did not go as planned. Luca Toni completely outshined him. He was the main striker for Bayern Munich. He scored 24 goals in Bundesliga and grabbed all of the headlines. Klose did not do too bad. He scored 10 goals, but he was completely outperformed by the Italian. But signing for Bayern Munich has quite a lot of pros, including winning consistent league titles, and that's exactly what happened that season. Even though Klose was not the main man for Bayern, that season he won his first ever league title. The 2009-10 season saw a drop-off in Luca Toni's performances. This gave an opportunity for Miroslav Klose to come in and become Bayern's main man. But Klose, unlike the previous 2 occasions, was not able to grab this opportunity. Like the previous season, Klose managed to score only 10 goals, and with both of Bayern Munich strikers misfiring, Bayern Munich did not win the league title, so they went and started looking for strikers elsewhere. Klose's Bayern career was now well and truly on the ropes. However, the summer that followed, Bayern Munich appointed a new manager, Louis van Gaal, and Van Gaal decided to move on Luca Toni. Now this didn't mean that Klose would now become the first choice, because Van Gaal also signed Mario Gomez and Arjen Robben, and he was happy to keep Klose as a backup. That season, Klose featured 25 times, but he did not even hit double figures. Klose was now well and truly in the decline. But then, the 2010 FIFA World Cup came about. Now there were questions. Mario Gomez was starting ahead of Klose for Bayern. Will he do the same with the German national team? The answer was no. Joachim Löw trusted in Miroslav Klose because Klose always delivered for him, and Klose repaid that trust. In that tournament, Klose scored 4 goals, including a goal against England in the round of 16 and then against Argentina in the quarterfinal. Germany once again finished 3rd, but Klose now found himself being the 2nd highest top scorer in the World Cup history. Now back at Bayern Munich, Klose failed to build up on this momentum. That season, Mario Gomez exploded. He scored 39 goals in all competitions, whereas Klose was mostly left to play in dead rubber games and in the DFB Pokal. Now in 2011, Miroslav Klose did not want to take a step down and play for a lower German team. Instead, he decided to take a new challenge in a new country. He went over to Rome and signed with Lazio. Klose was at Lazio for 5 seasons, the most he's ever been at any football club, and he was Lazio's top scorer in 3 of them. But with Lazio finishing on top for only once, you cannot make a claim that Klose's time there was a full success. But there were quite a lot of notable moments, including Klose scoring 5 goals in 1 game, Klose telling the ref to discount a goal because it touched his hand, more on that later, and Klose winning the Coppa Italia. When his time with Lazio came to an end, Klose finished as club's highest international goal scorer. Now let's go back to Klose's international career where he had more success. In 2014, Klose was once again picked in the German national side, but this time not as a starter. It was understandable because this time around he was 34 years old. But that did not stop him. He came off the bench against Algeria in the group game and scored a goal. That goal tied him with Brazilian Lazio. But with Germany clearly lacking a striker, Klose was given the nod in the starting 11 in the quarterfinals, and he did well, and as a result of that, he once again started in the semi-final. That semi-final was Germany's 7-1 win against Brazil, and in that semi-final, Klose scored his 16th goal at a FIFA World Cup, which made him the tournament's top scorer of all time. And then things got even better for Miroslav Klose as Germany went on to win the tournament. In a world where players go down on the slightest of touches, Miroslav Klose does not play by those rules. In 2005, while still at Werder Bremen, Miroslav Klose was brought down in the box, and as a result, referee awarded Werder Bremen a penalty. But Miroslav Klose felt that the contact wasn't enough, so he went to the referee and told him to revoke that penalty, and that's exactly what the referee did. He once again showed his honesty in 2012 when Lazio played AS Roma. A corner kick happened and the ball ended up in the back of the net. The referee awarded the goal thinking that Klose had headed the ball in. But Klose went over to the referee and said the ball had hit his hand, the goal should be taken back, and a free kick should be awarded to Napoli. For these honest actions, Klose had been given a Fair Play award, for which Klose showed mixed reactions because he believed the game is about honesty and not just winning. And then again in 2012, Klose was awarded with an ethics reward. Klose was the perfect definition of the mid-2000s striker. He was brilliant in the air, he held the ball up nicely, and in his early 20s, he even had a burst of pace, something that he had lost when he had reached Bayern Munich. But that did not really matter because Klose was a fox in the box. His movement was top-notch. This would mean that Klose would either find himself in plethora of space for his teammates to find him, or he would create spaces for his teammates to run into. Now that we have looked at Klose's entire career, let's see how good he actually was. Could Klose link up like Henry, Bergkamp, Harry Kane or Wayne Rooney? No. Could he dribble a ball like Ronaldo Nazario or Luis Suarez? No. Did he have movement like Edinson Cavani or Robert Lewandowski? No. Could he bully opposition like Zlatan Ibrahimovic? No. Nor did he have the technique of a Raul or David Villa. He did not have any of those traits while at an elite level, and that's why he was never really a starter for Bayern Munich, and that's why he very ever rarely hit 20 plus goals in a league season. And even if you were to dissect his international career, you could see that Klose never really scored against top tier teams. Argentina is the only country against whom he scored more than one goal. The rest are countries that are ranked well below Germany. So was he one of the greatest strikers to have ever lived? Absolutely not in my opinion, but I will give him a rating of 7 out of 10. He was a decent forward who would do a job, but he was not a legendary iconic forward. So this was my video on just how good was Miroslav Klose. I hope you enjoyed it. Like if you did, subscribe, and I will see you soon.